Alfred Hershey was a famous American scientist. He was born in 1908. He is best known for his important work in biology, especially his studies on genes and how they work. His research helped scientists understand more about how traits are passed from parents to children. Hershey grew up in a time when science was changing fast. People were discovering many new things about the world. As a young man, he decided to study science. He went to college and later to university to learn more about biology. After finishing his education, he started working in laboratories. He became very interested in how cells work and how they can pass information from one generation to another. One of Hershey's most important discoveries was about how viruses affect cells. Viruses are very small organisms that can make people sick. They work by entering a cell and using the cell to make more viruses. Hershey and his team wanted to understand how viruses did this. They studied a virus that attacks bacteria. This virus is called a bacteriophage. It was not easy to study, but Hershey was determined to find answers. In the laboratory, Hershey and his team used a special technique. They marked the virus with a material that was easy to see under a microscope. This allowed them to track the virus and see what it did when it entered a cell. They found that the virus only passed on its DNA, not its proteins. This was a very important discovery. It showed that DNA carries genetic information, not proteins. This was a big step in understanding how genes work. Hershey's experiment with bacteriophages changed the way scientists thought about genetics. Before this experiment, many people believed that proteins were the key to understanding heredity. But Hershey showed that DNA was the real answer. This helped open the door to more discoveries about DNA and genetics. In fact, a few years later, another scientist, James Watson, and his colleague, Francis Crick, used this information to discover the structure of DNA. Their work won them a Nobel Prize in 1962. Alfred Hershey's discovery was very important for science, but it took many years of hard work and dedication to reach that point. He spent long hours in the laboratory, sometimes working with a small team of researchers. They faced many challenges along the way, but they never gave up. Hershey was always curious and wanted to know more about how living things work. One reason Hershey's work was so important was because it helped us understand genetics. Genetics is the study of how living things inherit traits. For example, children get their hair color and eye color from their parents. Scientists can now study genes to learn more about diseases and how to treat them. Hershey's discovery was one of the first steps in making this possible. Hershey was also known for his dedication to science. He was very careful in his experiments and always made sure his results were accurate. He worked with many other scientists during his career. His ability to collaborate with others helped him make important discoveries. Many scientists around the world respected his work and ideas. Even though he faced many difficulties in his research, he never gave up. He believed that science could help improve the world. After his discovery about DNA and genes, Hershey continued to work in science. He was always interested in learning more. He spent much of his career at the California Institute of Technology, also known as Caltech. Here, he continued to study viruses and their relationship to cells. He also worked on finding new ways to use his discoveries in medicine and agriculture. Hershey received many awards for his work. In 1969, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his research on genetics. This was one of the highest honors a scientist can receive. The Nobel Prize helped to show how important Hershey's work was to the field of biology. However, Hershey never worked for fame or recognition. He was always focused on finding answers to big questions about life and science. Hershey's work also helped many other scientists. He was part of a larger group of researchers who were trying to figure out how living things pass on their traits. His work with bacteriophages showed them that DNA was the key to understanding heredity. This helped set the stage for many other discoveries in biology. In fact, his work directly influenced the discovery of the double helix structure of DNA. This discovery is considered one of the most important in science. Despite his many successes, Hershey remained a humble and quiet man. He was not interested in becoming famous. He wanted to make a difference in the world of science. His discoveries made the world understand genetics better and gave scientists new tools to work with. Today, we know much more about how our genes work and how diseases can be treated. Alfred Hershey died in 1997, but his legacy lives on. His work changed the way scientists think about genetics and biology. He will always be remembered as one of the most important scientists of the 20th century. His research helped to unlock many mysteries of life, and it continues to inspire new discoveries in science today. In the end, Alfred Hershey was a man who dedicated his life to understanding the world around him. Through hard work, determination, and curiosity, he made discoveries that changed the course of science. His research helped scientists understand how genes work and how living things inherit traits. Thanks to him, we know much more about our DNA and the way life works. His discoveries continue to impact medicine, genetics, and biology today. Alfred Hershey's name will always be remembered in the history of science.